This week on the Unqualified Gamers Podcast, the boys talk about Arc Raiders, Marathon, and Borderlands 4. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Episode 118.
118.
It's like you've done that for the first time
does 118?
ever.
Why does it sound like 118 is like a number for something?
It was the freeway that went through my hometown, the one that myself and Darren lived in for years.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's the Bully Highway. I couldn't tell you.
I couldn't tell
Jesus Christ.
So last week, my first missed episode. Really cool. Thanks, Darren, for sitting in. It was a good episode. I finally finished it today. Took me all week to listen to it.
Did you only listen on
no
one
free
platform,
time, huh?
Yeah, I've only listened to it on Spotify so far. Like on my lunch break. Well, I guess I did listen to it or watched it on YouTube while I was playing Tarkov this week too. Like
you watched it on YouTube.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Well, I watched it in between rounds while I was like living in the rounds. And stuff,
that makes sense. Usually, my schedule's thrown off because it used to be when I was going to work, like I'd leave the house around 6 or so, and it was out. But now I've been waking up at 4:30 to go to the gym before work, so it's not out yet. So I have to get to the gym before it comes out, and then I completely forget. And
I have a job. I'm no longer jobless, so that's new.
So
you're going to start working out before your job too?
Probably not.
Okay,
he is not waking up early.
I need all the sleep I can get right now because I'm pretty.
Didn't you just get like 2 months worth of just as much sleep as you wanted?
Yeah, I got a lot of sleep.
Still wasn't enough.
So now you just need to wake up a little early, start working out. There you go.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's my good.
Do you remember what happened the last time he tried to work out?
Yeah,
maybe when my brother lives a little closer to me, maybe, but not right now.
So you have a gym partner?
Well, we're gonna build a gym in his basement.
Oh, well, that's cheating.
Yeah.
My wife just said she wants me to build her a barn for all this stuff in the garage. And I was like, well, just leave it there and I'll build a separate area for a gym. She said no. She said that the garage would become the gym and I'm building a barn. Said,
what the wife don't know won't hurt her, man. Just do it.
Just build a secret barn randomly on the property for the gym.
Yeah, man, that's cool.
What's this bunch of wood over here and that random building going up back there?
I don't know.
There was a guy that wasn't allowed to build like a big awning for shade for his horses. So instead he built a gigantic chair because there was nothing against the size of a chair that you can have out there, but there was a size of a building / awning that was built. And
I've read about that. Yeah,
that's a good workaround.
Got around not having a quote structure. It was just a chair.
There's a lot going on in the gaming world right now. I liked how you guys covered the Call of Duty stuff last week. That was really cool.
Well, we figured you might appreciate that, so we had to throw it in there.
Marathon is like tanking. Every day losing play. I think it was only 126 players playing it yesterday.
Yeah, something like that. I think the last I saw was like 227 or something.
Yeah. And then Arc Raiders came out, and they're in beta. I've applied to be in the beta, obviously, but I haven't. I just did it yesterday. But
dang, I should do that.
That game looks insane. It looks really good.
We should go camping because it looks pretty intense.
Oh boy. Yeah, but it looks really good. I mean, Marathon looked really bad, and it's kind of playing like really bad. So
yeah, well, I mean when it first came out, a lot of people
said that it looked horrible. That it looked like it was just a early version of Apex, and it was weird because the devs were like, "Oh no, from what was that other one, Concord?" They're like, "Hey, don't judge this game based on Concord's mistakes." And I'm sorry, a shit game is a shit game. I don't care if people are like, "Well, don't judge it till you play it." If it looks like shit and smells like shit, it's shit.
And the fact that the player base is dropping that drastically, constantly, tells you it's not good. It's not good at all.
It started dropping before people were able to play Arc Raiders, but now that Arc Raiders is out, it's dropped significantly, and it's pretty much
Arc Raiders looks so good. I'm guessing though that you're probably gonna need like at least a 30 series graphics card to play it. It looks pretty intense on the graphics.
Well,
Did you guys talk about
to one of our previous things about how all the newer games are requiring a much higher standard in PC builds?
It's you know, the new engines and stuff, you know, they're going to be more
I think it's going to require demanding. More for sure. Yeah.
I told Zeus this yesterday. I can completely upgrade my system for $700. That's the best gaming CPU on the market, a motherboard for that, and RAM, because I already have the graphics card and the power supply. But that's completely upgrading my whole PC for $700.
Well, might as well do it.
So I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have. I think that I could right now because I do have the 4060 Ti. But
the thing you wanted to get rid of.
Well, I mean, I don't want to get rid of. I mean, I would like a 50 series, obviously, but I think that like I'm at the top end of the last like class, you know, like before DDR4, because now they're in DDR5 RAM,
right?
But I don't think I can play it on all high though. But
well, no, I mean, I don't play a lot of games on high. I mean, I have a 2080, so it's whatever. But
I do now, like because I got the 4060, but I'm thinking that game's going to be one that you know, I'm going to have to completely upgrade.
There's actually a lot of games out there that in the competitive world, they turn down their graphics drastically.
Yeah.
Because you get so much like lower latency, and then in like competitive shooters, the foliage is gone. Because
I remember Battlefield 2, like people would turn their graphics all the way down, and there'd be like no weeds in these areas to where people would crawl through them, you know, and that people would turn it way down. It's like, oh man. Like I would love to do that,
like 5 or 6 dudes just lying on
there
in the middle of a dirt field.
It's hard to do that as like, like I like to be competitive, but I also want it to look good, you know. Like with my 2070 Super, I couldn't play Fortnite on DirectX, the new DirectX with the Unreal 5 or whatever engine they were on. It would not play. But now I can because I have this new graphics card. So. But
back
I haven't played Fortnite in a while. They are coming out with a
Star Wars
season. We'll get to that in a minute though. But yeah, Arc Raiders looks really, really good. I sent you guys a clip of it. Kai, I know you watched it.
Oh, I've been watching a shit ton of that gameplay. I mean, Shroud has been saying that it looks like it's going to be game of the year. But I mean, I saw a thing today where on his stream he was talking about how if they release it exactly how it is right now, that, you know, he might put another 50 hours in it, kind of like he already has, and that'll be the end of it. But they're saying they're supposed to have like
a ton more content.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a lot more. They're supposed to have like, what was it, like 10 maps or something like that?
Something like this is only like 10% of the game or something.
Yeah. So, I mean, he says it's possible you can put in hundreds of hours.
Yeah.
I mean, the good news is you'll be able to have up to 4 players, and it's similar. Yeah, a squad.
Okay,
yeah, 4 players.
I didn't know how that worked. So
technically, it's a fire team, but whatever. We'll skip over that.
Right.
But they're gonna have a lot of other games, like, I mean, Fortnite, PUBG, stuff like that is purely just players. But this is one of those extraction shooters that, you know, Marauders was trying to do, Marathon was trying to do, where they have the PvP, PvE mixed in. And it seems like it's obvious who the PvE is in this one because it's robots. Right. But then the PvP aspect is you're playing against other players.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you go in, you get the loot, and you can do night raids for higher loot, which is pretty awesome. But you have like a skill tree or something you build.
I'm really excited to try that out. Me and Zeus we reset on Tarkov like, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Like you chose to?
Yeah, we chose. Well, I was like, I'm going to reset. I don't know. I think reset with me, and he did it. And
so basically, was that PvP or PvE?
It was PvE. But basically what it was is that he, like his life, let his stash management get completely out of hand and didn't want to deal with it.
It was so bad.
And so instead of like dealing with it and selling some things that he's not going to use or whatever it is, he threw the whole thing in the trash can and drugged me down with him.
And then I fucking filled it up again, like instantly.
Within 48 hours, he was in the exact same issue. Just with worse guns, worse ammunition, but same pack readiness.
I would honestly say better guns and better ammunition.
I would say that was probably like 10% of my gameplay in Marauders was sorting out all my gear.
Yeah, it's adult Tetris.
I have the unheard edition. Plus, I don't remember buying them, but I must have because it won't let me buy any more slots. But I have all the slots available in the.
Yeah, he went to the BSG website and tried to throw money at them to give him more stash space.
Well, no, what I did was like I don't know, like a year ago, I had bought a skin for wool clothes for me and Zeus. Zeus bought me the game. So I was like, hey, use this code. And he was like, oh, why'd you do that? I'm like, well, you bought me the game, so just do it, But I was just going to see if they had any new ones. I saw a video on it or something. They didn't have any new ones, but I also saw that I couldn't buy any more stash.
Healthy match.
I got setup done for the first time ever. I don't think I've ever completed that quest, so I was pretty stoked about that. But yeah, we've been playing every day. Been having some fun.
I've been playing a shit ton of Fragpunk. I even got some new friends I've been playing with. Casey actually started playing. I'm sure he probably hates it, but this is really one of his first person type of shooters, especially an ability shooter. Yeah. So I'm sure it's going to take him a little while to get used to, but he usually never really plays those. I think the closest he ever did was probably Sea of Thieves, but I mean that's a huge PvE PvP kind of map thing too. So
I still haven't played it. It's on my desktop still.
Me. Well, if you want to join in, I mean, I'll have to look to see if you're online. I don't ever really see you online when I'm playing because my time's limited. But if I see you on, I'll invite you. I gotta add you in game though.
It was one of those things that I downloaded it, and then I don't think CC's gone back to it since. I think he gray zoned me.
He said he loved it when it first came out. And then...
I played it quite a bit when it first came out, and then I think it was when I started trying to play ranked. I was like, "This sucks, man."
Then you went to Schedule 1, and you just never touched it again.
Yeah, Schedule 1 did take a lot of my time, but I heard they just had an update with that too. There's a new building you can buy. I heard. I don't know. I haven't dove into that yet, but I will. But did you guys talk, or you didn't? There's no way you could have talked about the new GTA 6 trailer because it just came out this week.
Yeah, it just came out. I mean,
it
came out
dude.
After, which I called it. I did say this. Not coming out till 2026 now. May 26th, 2026.
Yeah.
We literally said, even when they were saying, oh, yeah, it's going to be this year, Kai and I both were like, it's not coming out for at least another 18 months.
Yeah.
And
I'm just glad that it is going to be a little while because it gives me time to buy a console. But
yeah, I mean the trailer looked insane for it though.
The trailer looked insane. The positives, I guess, or it looks like it's a very good, very story driven, Bonnie and Clyde kind of a deal, right?
Right.
On top of that, the negatives that I've seen a lot of positives. It looks insane.
I mean, you can see beer moving in the bottle.
Yeah.
And bubbling.
Yeah. But the one negative that I've seen so far is it's going to be stuck to 30 frames.
Jeez.
Which sucks. Yeah, it's going to be capped at 30 frames.
Wait. Did they become Nintendo? Is that who's putting this shit out?
Didn't Nintendo move up to 60?
Even Nintendo is now at 60 frames.
My guess with that is, I mean, what's a PS5, a regular PS5 have for a graphics card? Isn't it like a 2070, a 2080 or something like that? Or is it higher? I don't know. I can look that up. But yeah, I'm guessing.
Well, the trailer itself was was filmed on a PS5. So
yes, but I'm guessing that it's like that because they're doing.
They capped it at 30 frames.
So the PS5's graphics roughly the same as an RX or an AMD RX 6700 or an RX 3060 Ti. So
3060s.
Yeah, that's basically like a 2070, a 2080 Super, I would guess. I mean, the 3060 is pretty much the same thing as those. But so I'm guessing that it's because they're doing it because the hardware can't really handle it. Maybe by the time it goes on PC, we'll be able to get 120, 140 frames. I don't know. Hopefully.
So let me get this straight. They're releasing a console exclusive game that the console can't run when the vast majority of people are on PC these days and can run it.
I still think the vast majority of the people are on console. In my opinion, I don't think it's even close.
I've been seeing a lot more console people on Fragpunk. I will say that.
Yeah, I think that the average person is a console. I mean, sure, there's people out there that have PCs, but I think that the average person is still on console, and I heard the reason that they're not putting it on PC right away
they'll be cheap.
is because people bitch about prices on PC players bitch about prices more than console players.
Everybody's bitching about prices right now. I mean, they're fucking making digital copies $80 and hard copies $90.
Yeah,
like, and then Xbox was like, you know what? We'll throw our wrench in the bag and I can shoot all of our stuff up too.
Yeah. Well, I still think that GTA is going to be $100, or there's going to be a $200 option. But again, we'll see more when that happens. But
again, I think Nintendo is behind the scenes running this whole thing because they're the ones really pushing the higher price games. With, as we talked about last week, the new Mario Kart being $80.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but the crazy thing about Mario is like if you go buy like the Mario games for the Nintendo DS used, they still hold their value insanely well.
They do great with like long-lasting IPs, but I don't think Nintendo, if any other, I actually had this conversation the other night with Darren and Weapon of Mass Creation. If you put just any other name onto a Zelda game, would it still sell as well? If you put any other name on a Mario game, apparently Mario Odyssey was great, but you put any other like name up there, like if you just call it, Joe, is it going to sell as well without that like gigantic name on it, even if Nintendo is the one doing it?
Probably not. Like, I don't know. I kind of think like Nintendo players are like, they love those characters. Like it was like Xbox and with Halo, like everybody that played Xbox played Halo.
Right, but Halo was in itself a good game, and a bunch of other games Halo-like have also been great games by not that name. Destiny did amazing with that type of stuff. We're talking about these futuristic shooters like Arc Raiders. Like, they're still all going off of that futuristic battle style that Halo kind of like, peaked.
Set into motion, yeah.
Yeah, and like, so that just proves that Halo itself was a good game.
Yeah.
But you take some of these other like lesser Zelda games. Breath of the Wild apparently was amazing. Majora's Mask, great. Wind Walker, I guess that was kind of a fall off for him. It was the same thing with a bunch of the Pokemon games.
I know that a majority of the Mario games have been really good, so I don't know.
What if they would have called Call of Duty just something like remastered maps? Like that was the name of it. It was remastered maps. Nothing to do with Call of Duty. It was just called remastered maps.
That still works because there are still games that are coming out with that whole thing from those. COD is not a bad game. It's just bad management after the game is out. They just continuously want more money from you. And honestly, if they weren't so money hungry on a lot of this stuff, I actually think that their player base would grow some because they wouldn't get nearly all the negative flack that they have been.
I'll tell you right now, if the skins on Call of Duty were $5 a piece, I would have a ton of them. Because I see them.
You wouldn't have a Tesla. You would have skins in COD.
I want that skin. I want that skin. But I'm not. I mean, like the Jay and Silent Bob ones. I want Silent Bob really bad. I'm not spending $30. That's how much it would cost for me to buy it.
That's insane that it's a $30 skin.
Yeah, $30.
Like I understand maybe like $10, but $30 is insane.
And the worst thing is he can only use it for this iteration of the game. Because once the next COD comes out, you can no longer use it.
Well, we don't know.
Black Ops 6 skins are supposed to roll over to the next Call of Duty.
We don't know. It's the Warzone. So, like, the first Warzone was good from Modern Warfare 2 all the way to Modern Warfare 3, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Because it was like Cold War.
Because you can still use those guns and stuff, too. So
yeah, but I'm trying to think of when the switch happened from Warzone 1, because we're currently on Warzone 2 right now. And I'm trying to...
At a certain point, they basically... the skins that I had purchased... And again, I thought that it was a cool thing, but the only skin that I've bought is John McClane. And I thought it was an awesome skin to have out there because it fits, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles, the wrestlers, the like little e-girls running around with, pink bunny ear headsets, that doesn't fit. John McClane, Rambo, those fit for me.
Those are action heroes.
My favorite skin was the Ghostface Killer from Scream. I use that skin all the time. And yeah, it sucks that you can't bring them into this game. You can still use them in those old games. Like if you play multiplayer on whatever game they're from, you can still use those skins. But yeah, it's ridiculous.
So in Warzone, I can now play on the old map, use my old setups with my old squad, but I cannot use the skins because somehow that's too much data on a 300 gig game.
They want you to buy more skins. It's crazy to me that. But the only reason that would make it somewhat okay for me, I guess, is if for some reason the licenses expired on those, and they couldn't put them into the new games. That would kind of make sense, I guess. I don't know why. I would guess it's just because they're greedy. But
well, if that's the case, then like refund a partial amount of credits. Like pull it from the games. Or have the release say, "Hey, sorry, we don't have the licensing for it anymore. It was from this time to this time.
Right.
Here is a partial, refund.
Give us credits to buy skins in this game. That would be cool. But yeah, I ain't paying $30 for any skin, dude. It's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. But anyway, back to GTA 6. It looks amazing. I can't wait for it. I think I'm gonna splurge for the PS5 Pro, but because I gotta play this shit on launch. But
I think a game I'm more excited for, and I know GTA 6 has a huge hype behind it. Maybe I'll get it. Maybe I won't. I'm not going to get a console to play it. That's for sure. I'm going to trade
my other PC for a console. That's my plan. So.
Well, yeah, I'm not even gonna try and get a console at all. When it ever comes out to PC, maybe I'll look at it. But I do want to get. And as much as somebody will say it's trash, probably Borderlands 4, I'll probably look into.
All right, I will more than likely be joining you on that.
Okay.
With all of the stuff that I've been reading about it, the stuff they're bringing back, the fact that the actual weapon mods themselves are now going to be impactful. It's not just going to be a 0.01% increase on something.
Yeah.
It's going to scratch that Diablo 3, Diablo 4 itch for me, but in a first-person shooter.
Right.
From what I've read,
and it'll be couch co-op too.
From what I've read is they released the games very quickly. The ones that people didn't really care for, was it 3, and there was a prequel or something at some point. Either way, they released those pretty quickly. It's been a while since they've released one now. They've been working on it, and they've been paying attention to what they've done wrong in the past. But everybody says that shit, so you got to wait till it comes out. Borderlands is a beloved franchise. Even though a couple of the games weren't loved as much as...
One thing I learned in the Marine Corps was don't believe it until it happens.
Yeah.
Right? So once it comes out, and I've actually played it, cool. Yeah. There are some things that they're adding, which is pretty sweet. One of the things they're adding, which I thought was the coolest, was that... So you can do couch co-op, obviously, with other people, right?
Yeah.
And each person can set their own difficulty. So Zeus could have a higher... So instead of it having to be the same difficulty for everyone, different difficulty. And then each weapon will drop based on your own difficulty.
Right. That's very
great.
So you're not going to be allowed to share weapons then, like you were in...
Well, I don't know if you'll be able to share or not.
But I think it'll... From the sounds of it, another game did that one time too. I think
it's going to be based on...
The division,
maybe like your rank, and they'll probably rank lock the weapons, of course, just like normal.
Okay.
And then maybe you can share based off of that, and then obviously people at higher levels get higher weapons. Maybe
I don't know how to do it, what CC was saying. So the first Borderlands came out in 2009. Borderlands 2 came out 3 years later.
And then a prequel, right?
That pre-sequel came out 2 years later. Here's the thing: the pre-sequel, the actual storyline for it was great. Like, it was an amazing thing to pull things together and to make that a completely cohesive story. It really did fit. The gameplay was absolute trash. Borderlands 3, the story was horrible, and the gameplay was going back to the whole Borderlands 2 type thing, but it was not there.
I didn't hate it. I liked Borderlands 3.
Borderlands 3 came out 5 years after the pre-sequel, so it's not like they just threw them out one after another. There was a 7-year gap between 2 and 3, and a 5-year gap between...
When did 3 come out?
2019.
What's the
gap?
So
it's been 6 years.
What's the gap between 3 and Tiny Tina, though?
So 3 years. And here's the thing: is that Tiny Tina was not a new idea. Tiny Tina was a DLC from Borderlands 2 that they turned into their own full game.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't even like I had this conversation recently. I'm not even going to give them credit on making this amazing game. All of it was already there. All the characters were laid out. The White Knight, Mr. Torg and his like
but
fascination.
Just the characters are there doesn't mean it wasn't hard making the game. I mean,
no, like the characters within Tiny Tina's were already created. There was another game called
I understand that, but
Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon's Keep, and like it was like everything was there.
I haven't played Tiny Tina's yet. I have it. Is it good? I've heard it's good.
Honestly, I've
heard it's really
amazing.
Yeah.
I was in such a bad funk from 2 and pre-sequel, I didn't want to support it. So I didn't buy it. I've heard amazing things about it.
Yeah.
But it was, again, one of those things that I'm not going to continue to reward these bad business practices and these like bad game developing like ideas or whatever it happens to be.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is on this one. So a lot of the problems that I had with like 3, and I skipped Tiny Tina's because I think I was like drug into New World or something like that. I was so heavy into that game that I skipped Tiny Tina's when it came out. But with this new one, I mean, I have other games that I'm playing. The co-op part is great. One thing I didn't like about 3 that I'm going to like about 4 was 3, when you're trying to get to, like, say you join someone's game, you want to get to them, you have to travel to a certain point that's near them, then get a vehicle, travel to them. You should have those personal vehicles that we talked about last week. But B, this one you're supposed to be able to instantly travel to your friend. So instead of having to get to a point, then get into wherever they're at, you instantly travel to them, which would be nice because if they're about to get into a fight or something, you don't have to traverse everything to get to them. I'm not sure. I have a feeling that it's probably going to be like if they're in a battle, you can't teleport to them, or it'll teleport you out of the zone of damage. I don't know for sure. Right, but maybe that would be. But and then they're going to have 8 manufacturers now for each piece of gear, which some gears, like the higher the rank of gear, will have different enhancements on it from different manufacturers, like the bonus.
You'll get more parts. So basically the rarity will actually matter now.
Right. Yep. And it's not going to be as common of a drop as it was in 3. So it'll be
in Borderlands 2, gear just dropped like crazy, but there was just very specific things. Although we did use very specific blue weapons. One of them was the Sandhawk. You got that out of the Pirate Scarlet DLC. It was one of the most meta weapons out there. It was a quest reward. You reset your game multiple times to get the exact roll that you wanted, but it was a blue weapon that everyone used because it was that meta thing. There were so many additional like legendary weapons that didn't compare to it, and I'm glad that they're finally making a really good distinction between that. And I'm wondering if those quest rewards will also be able to be tiered, whether you can have like a rare, an epic, a legendary,
Well, they said that they're like doing a complete overhaul of the loot drops. So I'm sure that, I don't know if you'll be able to obviously just turn off your thing and just restart and redo the mission and a new whatever.
So it wasn't even that. Basically, you would get to the point of, here are your rewards. You'd Alt F4 and you'd reboot the game, and you have the save state right beforehand, and you'd see if it rolled the way you wanted it to, and then you would just continuously do it, because some of them had a melee attachment. Some of them, maybe you wanted a very specific damage type to it.
Right.
Yeah. So crazy. It was.
Yeah, I never did that. I always just was like, whatever that is. Yeah, I'll see if I can find a better one later.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So most of them like that, like the B shield, you would go out and you would farm a specific boss, had like an 80% chance to drop, you farm the boss repeatedly. But when it comes to quest rewards, you can only do it one time until you have to reset the entire DLC to do it again. Right. And so, you would have to get like a secondary character, run it through, and then you put it into your little storage thing to transfer it to your other character. Real pain in the ass. You normally just go in, and people did what was called gibbing. It was a program that you could pretty much just make the weapon what you wanted it to be. And a friend of mine and myself, we had this thing of, once we had 10 of whatever the weapon was, we were allowed to then gib. We were allowed to then like use our files and make the weapon that we want, because it's not like we're not trying to farm for it, but if we want to be able to continue on. So yeah, we cheated in Borderlands 2 in couch co-op.
No.
Damn it. Speaking of cheating,
we do not condone. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, cheating, cheaters.
Dr. Lupo.
You guys didn't talk about that last week.
Another Doctor Falls. I don't know. Did we talk about it last week?
I thought you guys would have.
I don't remember. I've seen so many videos on it. I can't remember if we talked about it or if it was on a video I saw.
All I'm saying is that like I am apparently the last doctor out there that doesn't have a scandal against me now.
That's a bad one because he's always been one of those guys that's like, oh, you don't cheat. You know, cheaters should be banned, hardware banned, like ban cheaters, which I agree with.
Oh yeah.
But, man.
Well, it's funny because there was a guy who was talking about it, and he said, I mean, there was a lot of things that obviously he shouldn't have done, cheating being the number one thing. But he was talking about you don't cheat against chess people because these people are actually like smart and they like you play off of the next person's like 5 moves and you try and figure that out. So when he's doing these things, they're like, for him to get like after he lost his queen to get like 10 perfect moves right after, where they're like, that's kind of fishy, especially for like where he started and all that good stuff. But then someone said, you know, the way he played it, he was acting off of him not cheating type of thing. And so he had practiced it, which means he'd had it for a long. It's not like he just downloaded that day like he said he did and played it that one time. Well, he had practiced.
His story has changed so much.
Oh, I'm sure.
Since he got caught. Because original thing, he was like, oh, yeah, I was just getting advice from my Twitch chat. And I'm like, hold on. So you're listening to these 5 or 6 or, 10,000 other people as into what your best move is. There's a good chance. Like, I'm not saying that he was there, but Magnus Carlsen could have been in his chat feeding him freaking moves, or Hikaru Nakamura could have been feeding him moves.
So the video that I had seen, he said that he had his chat covered up during.
He then admitted that he was listening to his chat and that his chat was probably giving him engine moves.
All I know is that he's
a piece of shit.
He's a millionaire, multimillionaire that tried to cheat in a $100,000 tournament that probably a lot of people that were in the tournament are not millionaires that would have been like life-changing money for a lot of people.
Sure. Yeah.
And he tried to cheat, or he cheated in, like, if it was a tournament not for money, I don't think it's cheating. It's horrible. But it wouldn't have been such a slap in the face to everybody.
There's 2 people I hate the most in this world. It's liars and thieves. And when you do both, like that's.
And he said that the fight or flight kicked in, and of course it did, because you got busted.
Yeah,
you got busted and you lied. What? Thought what?
Oh, Kai, I thought you were going to go off the Ron Swanson thing. The 2 things I hate are liars and skim milk. Yeah, it's just milk. It's just water that's lying about being milk.
But yeah, it's horrible, man. And the thing that sucks about it is the dude should be blacklisted everywhere. I mean, nothing's going to change for this guy. I mean,
honestly, what's going to happen is that CC's going to say, well, he didn't do anything illegal, and it's, he's just going to like put out an apology of some kind and say, I did nothing wrong, and CC's going to be totally fine with him, like he is with the pediatrician.
Listen,
we've already seen this song and dance.
Wrong.
Listen,
yeah, well,
listen, I don't really want to get into it, but yeah, I don't
think cheating should be a like federal crime or anything like that. When it comes to, like, you're playing Warzone, a free game, right? And somebody's cheating. I think the people that are cheating are horrible and should be banned automatically from the game when they're caught.
You know what?
I don't think it should be a criminal offense unless it's for money. Once it becomes for money, criminal offense.
Yeah, it should be
100%.
It should be theft. Now to fix the cheating in Warzone, I did listen to this. You guys talked about this last week. I really like what Darren said. Charge for Warzone $20. $20.
That's actually how they're trying to fix it in Seige X. Actually,
I hope so, because if you pay $20, sure, you might cheat a little bit again and get lose $40, $60, $80. I mean, eventually there's going to be this point where you're like, okay, I'm just not going to play this game anymore because it's costing me too much money. Especially if the cheats become quick enough, if you get caught quick enough.
It's the same thing that happens with World of Warcraft, or it happens with Tarkov. people's accounts get hacked, they get bought for pennies on the dollar, and then you're using those cheats again. If money were the thing that would keep cheaters out, I think that having, you know, $120 or a $250 buy-in for a game like Tarkov, even at the low end of like $60 on a buy-in, would deter them. It doesn't. This has never worked in the past. It didn't work with Overwatch when it was $40 per
The reason that
thing.
it doesn't work for Tarkov is they don't ban cheaters very well. They never have. But if they get more strict with banning people, if you buy an account for $20 and you cheat and you get banned and you lose that $20, and then you buy another one and that like the day one you're getting banned, people are going to stop doing it. I think they are. I mean, if it's quick. Like, yeah, if you could play for a couple of months on an account, yeah, people are going to shell out the $20.
So that's how ban waves work. Because if they ban immediately, the cheats are going to get better immediately. Pirate Software did an entire thing where he said, you know, we will wait when he was doing the stuff for Blizzard. We'll wait 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, whatever it is, and we'll ban a huge swath so that all of these people at once are gone and they have to redo all of their cheats. Now, if this small portion of people get banned instantly, well, they figure out exactly why they were banned, and that'll be fixed instantly for all of these other accounts.
I mean, I guess you're right. I don't know. It's just cheating is just terrible.
Well, two things on that. One, I mean, with Seige X anyways, you'll have to pay if you want to play ranked. It's not for everything. It's just ranked. So cheaters will probably continue in like unranked matches.
Yeah.
Unless you already own the game. If you already own the game, then you don't have to pay because you're grandfathered in. So you'll be able to just play ranked because you've already bought the game. Also, have you seen the clip of Thor's real voice? Like somebody says he uses a.
So he does he doesn't use a voice changer. His voice changed.
Yeah,
like 10 years ago.
He's actually done whole things and he's done interviews and he's just like, you can listen to my voice in these interviews. Do you think that I'm getting, you know, IGN to get a voice changer just for this? That would be the biggest story ever if IGN was the one to catch me on.
I saw a video where he's like, "This was my voice," and like years ago, like 10 years ago, it just changed, and they don't know why.
He called it second puberty.
Yeah. He did. Yeah, because you can look up like old videos of him with his old voice. He's like, I don't know what happened, man, but my voice just got deeper.
Now, don't get me wrong. It is really nice. Like, I know how CC sounds. I know how you sound. Well, actually, I've only overheard you through your mic. But if CC right now gets really close to his microphone and starts talking a little bit softer into it, you're going to see his voice totally change. And so you can change it slightly with your equipment, but the basis of it, especially when you're out there with, you know, a microphone you have no control over. I mean, now granted, Thor is one of those dudes that could probably hack IGN and like mask his voice and do all this other crap, but I'm just going to trust the fact that this guy is, I mean, he just has that like buttery smooth voice that we all want to fall asleep to at night.
It's great. It's wonderful.
I would not mind him laying behind me, cuddling me, whispering into my ear, because that would just be... Hey.
Well, the good news, anyways, on a separate topic, so we talked about how, you know, like Seige X is going to use basically a pay for ranked to kind of deter cheaters.
Okay.
Fortnite is kind of taking a different route, and it's not necessarily going to deter losers. It's more just going to deter Smurfs, or not. I'm sorry, hackers is going to deter Smurfs over hackers. But so basically, they're introducing a whole new skill-based matchmaking with this new season with the Star Wars thing. So lobbies are going to be based off the worst player in your squad. So CC's probably going to play with like Chamber or Iceman or something. And then, did I say that out loud? Sorry. And then you'll keep getting the bot lobbies he always gets anyways. But as you do better, like if you're starting off in like certain lobbies and you get better, right? You're getting a higher KD. It's not just going to automatically move you up the tier of skill-based matchmaking. It's going to keep you in the same one you started at the whole time. So it won't like the game shouldn't go up and down. It should be exactly
honestly, I think it needs to be the opposite. You need to be put into skill-based matchmaking based on the best person in your squad.
It should be, but the problem, or the thing about Fortnite is they have a phenomenal anti-cheat. I'm not saying there's not cheaters in Fortnite. Every once in a while, you're going to run into one. but they have a phenomenal anti-cheat.
The thing is, he's not even talking about cheating. He's talking about smurfing.
Right.
So this one is going to be, I mean, they're going to look at a lot of different things. They're going to look off your KD, previous rank, tournament earnings, total crowns that you have on your account. So I'm sure if you're smurfing, you're automatically just going to get dumped into the low levels automatically and just play with noobs, right? And then you won't go up at all. You'll just stay in smurf accounts with other smurfs.
But doesn't that mean that you're just going to stat pad anyway? I mean, you still, a win is a win, even if it's only a single point. You still get some rating, even at like the lowest, even at the lowest things. We used to play, again, Overwatch. It was, we'd have these like real big differences of our team, and the top person might only get like 1 or 2 points of rating, while the bottom person is getting like 150 or 200 points.
Yeah, I don't know how you'll level up on this one, because again, you're going to just stay in the same lobbies. So I don't think this applies to any sort of ranked play. I think this is just a standard Fortnite.
So then are they just putting it out there, and are they like encouraging people to boost accounts then? Because that's what it looks like.
I don't know. Maybe it's just
I would guess that whoever is, they're ready for whatever, because Fortnite doesn't mess around, man. They're pretty smart.
So if they did the opposite of it and took the highest KD in the group, you then have that one person that's great going against people of his level, and everyone else is just not enjoying themselves. Yeah, you end up with, I don't want to be in your lobbies anymore.
It's probably why they're not doing it, because friendships will end and people will play less Fortnite without their friends or something. I don't know. But they also said that they're going to start with cross playoff. So, I mean, that might, you're probably going to either have to turn it on, or they're just going to make it to where you can't cross play for certain things or something. I don't know. But if you want to play with your friends, I guess at least check that to see if that's on, because I know a lot of people play with PC and like I used to play with my Xbox friends on Sea of Thieves all the time.
Yeah.
And now fucking Casey finally got a PC.
The talking about Fortnite just reminded me. Do you know how the Fortnite has their like Lego GTA whatever's, right?
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So I have no idea how new or old or whatever this is, but I saw a mod recently where it is a Minecraft mod, and it's Lego. So like all of the tiles and everything, like all the grass tiles or whatever, you're walking on Legos. It has the little Lego noises as you're walking on things. All the villagers.
I've seen that. So and there's mods like that for everything, but the Lego mod for Minecraft is awesome.
Like all of the trees are like little Minecraft trees. They're just different colors depending on what kind of wood you're trying to get into. The creepers are hilarious. When you blow the whole thing up, it makes a sound like just throwing a bunch of Legos against the wall.
The skeleton's the same way. It's when you kill a skeleton,
kind of like when you play like an actual Lego video game.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's Minecraft. And so it's one of those mods. That
might be a mod that I might install, actually.
I sent it to Joaquin because he's had a Minecraft server up for a while, and I'm like, hey man, can we get some Minecraft Lego going? And I mean, to me, it makes perfect sense, right? Because you think that Minecraft is nothing but just a bunch of those little 1x1 blocks or like little 4x4 cubes everywhere. That's actually when I first had no idea what Minecraft was. That's what I thought it was. I thought it was just Lego video game because that's what it is. Yeah, really, it was just trying to get the kids to go back to the mines and like it. Children yearn for the black lung, guys. Pop. Yeah, right.
You were down there for one day.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad. If you decide not to download the mod, there is something I do want you to install, CC.
Okay.
Oh.
It's a game. It's called Lose Lose. And
Lose.
Yes, I feel like you would probably enjoy it. Steam. It's on Steam.
Okay.
Check. See how much it is. Maybe I'll gift it to you.
Yeah, I'm checking it out right now. It's free.
Yeah. It's free?
Oh no, that's nothing to lose.
Oh no. It's lose lose. It's like lose/lose. And I'm pretty sure it's PC specific. Right?
It would have to be.
It would have to be for sure.
But could you imagine if so I'm just going to read your little thing.
Yeah.
For every enemy killed, it randomly deletes a file on your PC.
What?
And if you stop playing, you lose. But if you keep playing,
how about we don't do that, because I'll end up deleting all the shit for the podcast.
No,
well, no,
I'm
you're
just thinking
sending
of,
it on the Gmail first, and then you play the game.
No, I
okay.
just imagine the one dill file that gets deleted randomly, and then you just bricks your computer.
I can't find it.
Yeah, blue
just stop
screen.
looking for it. You're going to end up downloading it by accident.
Yeah, right.
Right. Yeah, I can't find it.
For the love of God, in this podcast, just don't. You have enough problems with Windows and your computers without having to actively sabotage yourself.
Tell me something I don't know. So I reinstalled Windows recently on my computer again, and it won't let me upgrade to Windows 11. So I don't know what the hell to do.
I guess you sit there and suffer until October?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my God. Is that still happening in October? Is that when they're ending support?
Yeah.
So just because they're ending support does not mean it's not going to be usable, right?
No, it'll still be usable. They just won't update it anymore.
Oh, okay. So it just means that you're more susceptible to viruses and those types of things then? So if you have a decent antivirus after that date, you should be good, theoretically?
Maybe, yeah.
I am not a computer guy. Do not take any of my information.
I would like I said, I would recommend everybody just upgrade to 11. That way, because antiviruses are just terrible, in my opinion.
So I looked up lose on whatever, and then I went to the lose site, and Spectrum blocked it. So they might have blocked the game itself from you.
I'm sorry,
I'm sure you can find it somewhere, but
that sounds like just malware. That sounds like malware or ransomware.
Kind of. I mean, you're playing a video game where you're deleting your own files. I mean, you install it on one of your friends and just be like, oh, hey, let's play lose together, like somebody you really dislike. And then when they install it, you just, I don't know what's happening. What do you mean your computer's just randomly glitching? So, I mean, if you really want something...
So,
you're like installing malware on your computer. All right,
for anyone out there that is a computer dev, you can take this idea, just give me a little bit of the residuals. I like the whole idea of lose, but instead, can we just get rid of every enemy you kill? Just get rid of one random pixel on your screen for the play session. And then just as you keep going, just individual pixels just disappear from your screen. Until
more enemies you killed, like you're just playing a completely black screen.
Yeah, right? Like you get into something like what the hell is that game? Dead Island or Dead Rising or whatever, where you're just mowing down, 50 500, 1,000, 10,000 whatever all at once, and then it just like slowly picks away your individual pixels. No way to get off of it for another monitor. I like this.
I like it.
So, someone in the comments join
something that doesn't completely destroy your computer. That's not a bad idea. Well,
and it's not like malware, it's just
right. Well, there is a game that I think CC probably would actually like, and we could play it together because I actually think it looks like a good game. And it comes out May 20th, so very soon, and it's called RoadCraft. So very similar to your, what is it, Gold Rush type of thing.
Gold Rush, Gold Mining Simulator.
Right. So this is something similar to that. So after a natural disaster within the world, right, you have to go rebuild the infrastructure of that area. And you have like 8 different locations that you're going to rebuild. And they've got like a whole bunch of different like trucks and machines and stuff like that you can use. And you got to rebuild those areas. So it's like putting together a whole civilization again. So, I mean, it's almost like you're not necessarily digging for gold, but you're digging to rebuild. And then you can actually see your
I'm
progress,
pretty sure anyone that's ever actually done any kind of like disaster relief is looking at this game and is just going, why?
Have you seen the people who play like the farmers who play
Farming Simulator?
Farming Simulator? The truck drivers that play.
They literally get done from the cornfields, come inside, and then they turn on their Xbox and start mowing down some more corn. Yeah.
Right.
So
there was a Machina video that was Warcraft and what they do once they get off of their slaying dragons or whatever. And they go into the office, and so like this gigantic orc is actually a banker or an accountant or something, and it's behind on emails.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen that video. Yeah, that was good. There is
go ahead.
There is a free medieval game if you guys like medieval. Now, I don't think this one will do so well because obviously Arc Raiders has come out as a looter shooter kind of game, so. This one won't do so well, but it's called Expedition into Darkness. It's free, but it's a medieval looter co-op exclusive on Steam. only on Steam.
So
PC
kind of like
only,
a
obviously.
dark and darker type thing.
Kind of like that. It does seem very much like that. Yeah. Now the full game is set to release in September, so this is just like a beta. It seems like.
Yep.
But you can have up to 4 players. You choose from the beginning what your medieval weapon is going to be, and then you're going to fight through dungeons and then search for the stuff you want, obviously. But you can forge those weapons and make them stronger or whatever have you.
Right.
And then for a higher price, you can actually get what they call forbidden powers, which is, I'm sure, kind of like a mage almost, but then everybody's a mage. I don't know. And then you pretty much keep your gear if you get out, but if your entire team dies, you'll lose everything. I mean, just like any other extraction shooter. But the thing about this one is as you go further into the dungeon, I'm sure it's just like any other dungeon, the harder it gets. Now, I don't know. I would say that a lot of dungeons, like you handle section by section with your team and it just stays the same. It's just one difficult dungeon the whole time. But this one is as you start, it's not that difficult. And then as you get further into the dungeon, it gets more and more difficult. Like you're moving through the levels as you go through the dungeon. So it doesn't seem like a bad game, but if Arc Raiders is coming out, I don't think people are going to be jumping into that so quick.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's always players that'll like different games. I'm sure there's
Dark and Darker is on Steam now too, though. I actually just talked to Travis the other night, and we played Up again because Played Up's super fun. And he told me that Dark and Darker is on Steam now, and it's free, so you can try out Dark and Darker for free.
Did I hear that Tarkov's coming to Steam?
You did on the last episode, yeah.
We talked on the last episode.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And console eventually.
Yeah. After Game Boy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, there is one medieval game. I've brought it up before. I can't wait for Kingmaker to come out. That's the one where you time travel and bring modern weapons back in time. So you bring like an Apache back to like a medieval battleground.
People are sitting there with a catapult and horses, and you just come flying over with missiles and a 50 cal.
You're sitting on a like a castle tower somewhere with a Mosin, just picking dudes off. That I can't wait for that to come out. Totally random, off topic. Did you guys hear what happened to Asmongold?
Yeah.
Only from you. Yeah.
So this poor man he has been fighting with raccoons for a while that I've been getting into his house, and he heard some scratching coming from like the crawl space in his like attic area. So he went up there to see what it was, stepped on what was supposed to be like a truss support, and fell through his ceiling.
What I'm thinking it was usually what they do is like people who need to do like AC work or electrical work or anything like that. Whenever you're stepping, you can't step in between the trusses because you'll go through the ceiling because it's just drywall screwed onto the bottom of the trusses, and it definitely won't support your weight. So they laid 2x4s across for you to be able to get, like, in case you're trying to get from one truss to the other and you can't quite make the step or whatever, you're carrying equipment, you can drag it on the 2x4s. But over time, obviously, the 2x4s can kind of weaken or whatever. Or if you step literally right in the middle of the 2x4, especially at the wrong angle with X amount of weight or anything like that, you'll snap the 2x4. So
yeah,
you should still walk
see
on the trusses.
That it is attached to the trusses. Like it is partially hanging out of the ceiling, still attached to it up there. So it was either nailed or screwed in at some point. But there's just this gigantic hole. It looks like it was meant to be stepped on, and it just so
well, that could just be spacing blocks.
He said that there was take a look at the picture. No big injuries or anything like that, but we are still hoping for a fast recovery for Mr. Zach over there.
I wonder if he's cleaned up the mess yet, right? No?
Okay, I'm sorry. If you've seen the rest of this room, you know he hasn't.
Right.
My guess would be, so there's obviously when you're putting up drywall and stuff like that, you're going from truss to truss to truss to truss, is they might have had like another piece of drywall or something that they're trying to connect there to make certain ends meet at different angles. And then they'll put that between the two trusses so that way they have something to screw to instead of it just being loose.
That's what it looks like to me. Yeah, it was.
So they probably put that sideways at the bottom of the truss for them to be able to screw something to it, and then he stepped on it and went through it.
Kai, he looks like he still has asbestos ceilings. All right, so like,
well, he definitely has popcorn ceilings, and I mean, to be fair, popcorn ceilings are a son of a gun to get off. Like you have to like spray them, scrape them. All that good stuff.
When I was a kid, the house we moved into had them. we just took the garden hose as far as it would reach, and where it wouldn't reach, we just use a super soaker and just wet the shit out of it, put on just a little normal mask, and then just scraped it onto,
a plastic bag or something.
Yeah. Well, we covered the whole floor in plastic and just threw it all away.
He might as well start with his floor looking like that. It's going to take him forever to clean that up.
Look, man, we have seen videos of his bedroom. He has drink cups there from the launch of World of Warcraft. Oh no, we're talking like 6 years.
Yeah. I want to know like the story with these books right here. You guys see the picture?
No, you don't want to know the story of those books.
Like there's a lot. Those books have been there a long time.
And you know what? Books. I've listened to him talk. The guy is fairly educated. I'm pretty sure he's read most of this stuff.
Yeah.
And, he makes sense on a lot of things he talks about. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he is one of those guys you either love or hate. I love the guy. He's having a great time right now because of the stuff happening with Polygon after their hit pieces on him and everything. How they were bought out and had to lay off a bunch of the game reviewers.
Yep.
And so he recently did an entire video on just how elated he is that they're probably going to have to go back to flipping burgers or serving, coffees, because that whole industry of like game reviewing is just dying. And it's dying because they've been giving us horrible, horrible reviews on these games because either they're being paid to say these things or it's just the agenda. And
it definitely seems like they're getting paid to do a lot of reviews. When you just get those reviews of a game that is trash, and they're like, oh, this is a 9 out of 10, and you're like, but everything else in this game says it's pretty much like a 3.
I think I don't know if I brought it up on the podcast before. I know I brought it up before, but there was one person that actually said if any game ever refers to it as the Gulf of America, she's docking 2 points out of 10, purely for that. And that I'm like, really? That's what it takes?
That's what it is now. But okay, well, CC, if you do build your computer, you decide to do that. What would you say was $700 upgrade?
Yeah, I'll probably do it this year sometime. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so we talked about the Lee fans, which you said are kind of dying, right? Or at least one of them is. So they have something that looked pretty sweet. It's the TCOMAS magnetic fans. So these aren't the Lee. They don't connect the same way, but they do have a fancy way of connecting. So basically what they have is like a magnetic base, and then each fan will connect to that platform magnetically instead of just having to have cables that run to it. And then there's a switch that you can change the fan to either be intake or output. So, and it seems to be like a full metal design. So it's not like those cheap plastic type of fans. It's supposed to be really well built. So
really like my Lee fans. I've loved them.
Okay.
I've got extra ones in there. No, but I will not buy them again. Like
okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. Just get these ones. They're fully metal. And
I've loved it. I've had them in for like 8 months now. But one is dying in 8 months, and I have extras in the other computer I could swap out, but
just detach and reconnect.
One fan is dying, man, and it's. I'm not
that's what I'm saying. These ones are supposed to be a lot more hardy. Fully metal.
I do need the maglev is supposed to be the best. So yeah.
Give her a look, skis. I don't know how much they cost, so I didn't look into that.
I'm a fan of the Lee cases, but their fans, I just think they're overpriced for what they are. I'm gonna stick with Corsair.
They are way overpriced, especially when they only last 8 months.
There is in our house right now. There is one Corsair fan that's going out, and that's upstairs in Mrs. computer, and it's the bearings on the inside of it are finally I think they need to be re-greased or something. But she has my old computer. She has the computer that I made in 2012 or 2013. That's been going strong forever. You can't hear any of the fans behind me. My case is open right now. And it is silent. All those things are 5 years old.
Corsair's great. I just hate IQ. So I hate IQ. That's all they got. So I've got the Corsair K100. I've got 2 Corsair mouse. And
I'm a Razer fanboy when it comes to peripherals, but as far as stuff inside, I love the Corsair. The Corsair case, the Crystal series, is a phenomenal case. I can't swear by it enough. Corsair, you should sponsor us. But I did want to bring up this last thing real quick with John Cena and Idris Album, Head of State. Yeah, it sounds hilarious. I love John Cena as an actor. He just seems to have decent comedic timing, and he's I don't think I've ever heard a bad thing about him on set. He seems like one of those
chill
dudes
kind of guys
on set. So
I don't think I've really heard much of him about anything on him on set, anyways. But I mean, I haven't heard anything negative. Right? So I mean, yeah.
What was that? What was that comedy he was in where he was the friend? He was like they met him at a bar or whatever, and they hired him to be the friend. What was that? Ricky Stenicki.
Well, it was the
God, that
Ricky
was
Stenicki.
That movie was hilarious, man.
Yeah. This one looks pretty good.
That movie, yeah.
So I think John Cena plays a similar kind of person. So it comes out July 2nd, by the way. But this one is John Cena is the U.S. president, right? And then Idris Elba, which I think is another great actor, is the prime minister. And John Cena's in a lot of these action movies where he does he shoots and fights and all this good stuff. And then he becomes president. I think maybe this is a play off of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know. But they get into a plane crash when they're on Air Force One, which it seems like they were attacked because another plane comes up, shoots them down. And now they have to kind of fight their way out. And of course, when it comes to fighting, John Cena doesn't have the skills to fight. And he just seems like this big, bulky guy who's real strong, but a big teddy bear. He's afraid of the fight type of thing and reads people wrong. Looks hilarious.
The fact that John Cena has literally been at every single head of state and world leader conference ever on stage right next to them, I think he's perfect for this role. I mean, you can find pictures of him all over the place, just, up there standing with them. If you ever see that empty spot right between two people, that's him.
Yeah.
But, I'm not a John Cena fan. I've been a wrestling fan my whole life. Not a big fan of him wrestling, but some movies like Ricky Stenicki
was real good.
Oh my God.
I think that John Cena is the thing that took wrestling into the new era, because it was much more comedic characters.
Well,
I mean, Undertaker. I mean, there was this just big transition from characters to more relatable.
What John Cena ruined wrestling, in my opinion. He brought in the PG era, because if you think about comedy, DX was pure comedy back in the day, back in the 90s. When John Cena came in, all the little kids, they were all loved him. And that brought in the PG era, which ruined wrestling, in my opinion.
John Cena, if you see this, we would love to hear your side. Please let us know. You can come on the podcast. We can have you.
You can talk
take
about CC's spot.
I'm not saying
I want to talk to you anyway.
I'm just saying him being there brought in the PG era, and it just ruined wrestling for me. So, yeah. But anyway, Kai, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, not a problem. CC, thanks a lot for coming back. It was great to have you back on. I won't be here next week, so I'll apologize, I guess, now for everybody that I'll be in Texas again. Should be one of my last times, so we'll see how that goes. But thanks again, everybody, for watching. Let us know in the comments if there's anything you agree or disagree with, something maybe that you want us to discuss next week. Put it in there. We'll throw it on the list. You can catch our show on our platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Rumble. And then, of course, feel free to follow our socials. We got Patreon, Facebook, X, TikTok, and Instagram. Fun shorts. Oh, I just closed.